All right, everyone. So, welcome to the final video of dyslexia in the elementary years. This is the concluding video. So, all we're doing here is just wrapping up what we've learned and also talking about some additional resources that might be helpful to you as a parent or as an educator. All right, so the key points that we've learned throughout this video series. First and foremost, that dyslexia is a phonological disability. It's really rooted in neurobiology. So, reading stems from those areas in the left parietal temporal region, and students with dyslexia show less activation in those areas. And so, the intervention work that we do really targets those areas to help rewire the brain. You'll remember from our first video regarding the characteristics of dyslexia that students with this disability struggle with accurate, rapid word recognition, spelling, reading fluency, sometimes word retrieval just when they're speaking or as a young child learning how to talk, putting words on paper, and even reading comprehensions can suffer because word retrieval skills are so challenging. Um, and again, so targeted instruction is really what we need for these students, particularly the three effective practices we discussed: direct, explicit instruction, phonological awareness and phonics instruction, and also multisensory instruction. All right, so some additional resources that might be helpful to you as a parent or as a teacher. So, first and foremost, the International Dyslexia Association has a wonderful handbook that is extremely comprehensive. That might be a great first step so that you can really look through a very complete resource. Additionally, if you are a Colorado resident, the Colorado Department of Education has a wonderful dyslexia handbook that can be incredibly helpful. And even if you don't live in Colorado, this can serve as a wonderful tool and can really show you what a state like Colorado does in terms of addressing the needs of their students. I've lived in several different states, and at this point, I've really realized that Colorado seems to have the most robust legislation surrounding dyslexia. And so, if that's something that interests you, you might want to go ahead and look at that resource. Additionally, WEDA is an organization that has multiple websites geared towards education. The three I've listed here are wonderful resources. So the first one is Reading Rockets. This is for young learners, so emergent reading or, kind of those early grades. And then AdLit is their website that's dedicated to adolescent literacy. And then finally, they have LD Online, which is specific to students with disabilities. Next is a wonderful book called Overcoming Dyslexia by Sally Shaywitz. She is a wonderful researcher regarding dyslexia. She is one of the experts that people hold in very high regard. And something I love in particular about this book is that she really focuses a lot on the self-esteem part of dyslexia and how you as a parent might be able to really notice the strengths that your child has and also encourage them to see that they are becoming really hard workers and that their brains work in a different way, but in some cases that can be extremely positive. I just really love that her approach is so asset-based and very focused on the whole child. Additionally, the last two might be a little bit more specific to educators as opposed to parents, but any parents out there who are interested, you should check them out. The first one is Multisensory Teaching of Basic Skills. So this really focuses on that multisensory component and has a lot of wonderful strategies and ideas for teachers who are looking to bring more of that type of instruction into their classroom. And finally is The Essentials of Assessing, Preventing, and Overcoming Reading Difficulties by David Kilpatrick. This is just a nice comprehensive resource. I found it to be enlightening about the process of reading and learning how to really take words and letter sounds and then also turn that into spelling skills. So something called orthographic mapping, which is sort of a more technical, advanced component to this dyslexia and reading conversation, if that's something that interests you. And then finally, here's a list of the official resources or references that go with those resources if you're interested in seeing a little more detail. So thank you all so much for joining me. I have loved this project, and I hope that you and your family or your students can get a lot from this project. Thank you so much.